guys, it's Mickey, and I'm going to talk a little bit today about color correction. So one of the things that a lot of people have going on, including myself, is we have blemishes that we need to cover and we have under eye circles. Mine are not quite as bad, but I still like to color correct them before I put on my foundation. So I actually color correct them with a color called Frenchie, and Frenchie is this pink color. You can see it there. That is normally used for lip and cheeks, but is also a good color correction for dark areas on your face. So I am just going to put a little bit of this Frenchie color, which is in my compact here, underneath my eyes. You don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long way, and I probably used a little bit too much on this eye here, but that's okay because this is a cream makeup and all of it's going to blend. This is Seint Beauty cream makeup if you're not familiar with my videos. The next thing I am going to be color correcting with is this color right here, which is called Aspen. And it is actually a contour color that's usually used to contour your cheeks, along your jawline and your forehead, depending on what your color match is. But I use it to cover all the redness. Along with the redness, I also have T-zone issues with oiliness in through here, especially around my nose. And so I am going to actually color correct my entire nose with Aspen. And again, this is all going to get blended. So all this dark stone color that I'm putting on my nose right now and on the redness is going to be blended out. I'm going to do it above my lip because I have redness there as well, and under a little bit underneath. So this is how you would color correct your face. So anywhere that you have like red spots, you can use this Aspen. And depending on what color your skin is, it may not be Aspen for you. It might be a different contour color. So we would talk about that when we do a color match. When I ask you for a color match, I would ask that you stand in front of a window at least 3 feet away with your camera out like this. We need natural light for the color match. I'm in my bathroom right now, and really this is not the best lighting to do a color match. So we would ask that you do it in front of a window. Okay, so I've covered the red spots that I want to cover, so that's the stone color. I've colored the dark spots with the pink Frenchie. So now I am going to go in with my highlight foundation color, which is this one right here. For me, it is June, but different times of year, your color will change. So I'm using June right now. If I want to be maybe a little bit darker because winter's coming and I'm feeling a little pale, I might go a little bit darker. In the summertime, you want that tan look. And sometimes you don't even need to change your highlight color. You can just use a bronzer in that case as well. Now, I'm not going on my pink Frenchie because of the fact that I'm going to be using a lighter highlight color underneath my eyes. So I just put this foundation color on these areas here. And if you look at the different ways different Seint artists do their makeup, everybody has a different way of doing it, and I've done it several different ways myself. Oops. So I am going to use this brush here. This is our buffing brush and bronzer brush. And I am just going to use the smaller end here. And the areas that I did the color correction, I want to kind of tap it in first before I brush it. And this brush is used for a lighter coverage. If you want a heavier coverage, we have a different brush for that. Our 3D hack brush, our 30-second hack brush is what it used to be called. And I haven't done my eyebrows yet, so I don't have to be careful around my eyebrows. I can just go ahead and brush it in. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead with my contour color, and I'm using a newer color, so it's not my compact. This one is Astoria, and this one is a little bit darker than what I normally use. So I want to find, there it is, my detail brush, which is this brush right here. And if you look at it, it's flat and it's contoured. And then this end is a little bit rounder, so it can go underneath your eyes here. But I'm going to use the flat end here to dip into it. So I'm just going like this with my contour color. And the reason we use contour is because of the fact that we don't want our face to look flat. We want it to look three-dimensional. So in this area, I go like right in like this, and I'm doing it on my forehead here. And then I'm going to do my jawline. Give your jaw some dimension. Especially as we get older, our jawline drops, unfortunately. And then at the cheekbones here, I'm just going to brush it up. So look, I'm giving my June highlight color a little bit more bronzed color by doing the contour on my forehead. And you're also defining your face. Okay, so now I'm going to go in underneath my eyes with that lighter color, which is this one right here. And this one for me is called Moonlit. And I'm just going to go ahead and dip my finger in. My hands are clean. You'd only do this in your own makeup, not somebody else's, of course. And along my nose. And I've got that detail brush still, and I am just going to go ahead and buff that in. And you see where that pink that was covering my under eye darkness just kind of blends in. Now I'm going to take my brush here and I'm going to go into my Moonlit. Just do a little bit on my forehead there, on the bridge of my nose. Now I am going to use a different brush to do the sculpting around my nose. And when I'm using my brushes, some people like to have like a little makeup cloth. I just use a paper towel to brush it in between. Always keep your brushes clean at least once a week. You want to clean your brushes. We have a brush cleaning spray that we sell, and there are other methods that you can clean your brushes as well. The brush cleaning spray that we do sell will clean your brushes, and then you can use them immediately. All right, so I am going to use a detail brush, this one right here, and I'm going to go around my nose. And I like to draw a thin line. And then I come around here. And this is to thin out my big nose. Now, even if you don't have a big nose, a lot of our artists that have smaller noses do this as well, and it just gives your face more definition. So now I'm going to take my detail brush again, and I'm just going to go like this. You're just patting it in. This part you don't want to blend because of the fact that you're going to lose that definition. That was like the same thing for my cheeks. When I did my cheeks, I went ahead and sculpted them in and just brushed up. And use whatever excess I have, just go around my chin here. Not too much though, because you don't want to look like you have 5 o'clock shadow. All right, so I'm going to clean my brush again. All right, so now I'm going to go in with, I think I'm going to use, I usually use this one, which is Dahlia, which is a darker pink, but I think I'm going to go ahead and use this color here, which I believe this one is Hollywood. Just want to double check the back here. Yeah, this one's Hollywood. And this one is kind of a peachy pink. So I'm going to go ahead and use my detail brush, and I'm going to go in there. You don't need a lot. Our colors a little bit goes a long way. So it just gives it, your cheeks, a little bit of pop. Okay, so now I'm going to use what is called our perfector sponge here. And I'm just going to pat that in, but what I want to do is I want to get this a little bit damp. And so I just ran it under the faucet for just a little bit. I'm going to squeeze it in a paper towel here, because you do not want this sopping wet. You just want this a little bit damp. And what I'm going to do is I'm pushing in our foundation that we just used. And I usually use a setting spray. I don't have the setting spray on my counter right now, so we're going to skip that. But you can also, our setting spray, spray it on the sponge and go ahead and push it in. And that's especially good if you're going out. You need the makeup to last all night. It just helps it stay in place. Okay, so my foundation is done. So the last thing I want to do here is I did not do my eyebrows. So we have our brush right here, which has got a spoolie on the end. And then we've got the detail brush here for my eyebrows. This is our hotline brush. And I am going in with a color called Indigo. And I have to get closer to the mirror here, guys. So what I'm doing is I dipped it in my indigo, and I'm doing feather-like strokes. And then when you get your arch here, you just want to come down like this. So your eyebrow should never go, if you take your, like a pencil or your brush here, should never go past this right here. For me, I don't like to come all the way out there. This is about as far as I am going to go, is like here. And then I'm going to take my spoolie end here and just brush that in. And you also could use a one of our eyeshadows over this, like one of the brown eyeshadows, if you wanted it to stay longer, or you could use this by itself or use an eyeshadow by itself as well. Okay. And I wear eyeglasses, so what I'm going to do after I get off this video is put my eyeglasses on and take a Q-tip anywhere that I made a mistake and fix those. Okay, so I got my eyebrows done. Now the last thing I want to do is my lips. And we have a Milk lip conditioner, this one right here, that I like to put on beforehand because my lips are really dry, especially in the wintertime. And I'm going to go ahead with that color that I used up here. Use this brush here. You could use your finger as well. A lot of our artists go ahead and they'll do their entire face just dipping into their compact with a finger and just dotting it on and then blending it. And I can demonstrate that as well. In fact, I think I have demonstrated that in past videos. So there's so many different methods that you can use for this makeup. So this is just one of them. And I used a couple different brushes. I like using, you can use one brush for everything. I like the detail brushes for some of the areas. But that is it. That was my face. I will show you my eyes on another video. It just takes too long to do all of them. So that's it. Thanks, guys.